everyone, welcome back. If you're thinking of opening your own private practice or medical spa, or even just move an existing one, finding the right location is a huge deal. My name's Jamie Spann. I'm a healthcare consultant and I have over 20 years of experience working directly with physicians and medical spas. Today we're going to walk you through the key factors you need to consider before you find the perfect spot for your new practice. Understanding demographics and accessibility to cost and competition, we've got you covered. Stick around to the end to get all the tips you need to make an informed decision and set your practice up for success. Let's dive right in. Let's start with why location matters. Choosing the right location is crucial for physicians and medical spas because it directly impacts how their patients access their practice, see their practice, and the overall success of their practice. A convenient, well-located practice can attract more patients, foster growth, and enhance patient experience. So what should you consider before looking for a location? Think about if you're a destination or a location. Meaning, are you someone who sees walk-ins or are you someone who's getting referred to? If you're a med spa, you want to easily be seen by the main street because you're going to get walk-ins and you want to take walk-ins. If you're a specialist, you're going to be mostly getting referred to by other physicians. So you need to focus more on easy to get to and easy to park, especially parking right in front of a front door to your practice. Another thing to think about is if you're a surgeon, you'll need to consider if you need to be close to a hospital that you operate at in case you need to get there quickly. Some hospitals actually require you to be a certain amount of miles from their practice in case you need to get there quickly. So make sure you look into this before you get a location. Next, you need to consider your goals. Think about if this is a place that you can see yourself being for 5 years or more, or 5 years or less. You also need to think about if there's room for you to grow, whether it's within the practice itself or maybe into the place next door. The cost of moving locations just after 3 years or less can outweigh the cost of starting a better location or bigger location. You might ask yourself, how's cost going to outweigh my cost of moving? Well, you'll probably lose some patients who don't want to go wherever you move to, even if it's only a couple miles away. Plus, there's patients who may not realize that you moved and don't know where you went, especially if you didn't do a good job of updating all your information all over the internet, especially on your Google My Business page. You also need to consider the demographics of your patients. If it's a med spa, you're going to want to be cash pay and you're going to need a nicer area where there's patients who can afford to pay cash for your procedures. If you're insurance based, are you Medicare and Medicaid mostly, or is that going to be a smaller percentage of what you take? Also, if you're a med spa, you need to pay attention to other med spas in your area and how far away they are from you. Versus if you're a specialist like an orthopedic, it's okay if there's some other competition nearby because most of your people are going to get referred to you by other physicians. Now let's talk about other factors you need to consider once you realize how big of a practice you're going to have. Let's start with demographic. Understanding your target patient demographics and your community needs is a huge factor. Are you going to be cash-based or are you going to be insurance-based? Are you looking to work with a certain ethnicity? Are you targeting athletes or older people? These are important things to ask yourself and are going to play a big factor and role in where your location is going to be. Now let's talk about accessibility. This is another huge one and super important to patients. You're going to look at the proximity to major roads, public transportation, and parking availability. Patients want a place that's easy to get to and easy to park. And they want to be able to park close to your door. Next up's competition. Analyzing nearby practices and market saturation is something you should consider. But again, it depends on your specialty. Next up is going to be your cost. This includes evaluating your rent, property tax, operational costs, all play a factor with what you can afford and if it's in your budget. So make sure you know what your budget should be. Your lease is most likely going to be your second highest cost in your practice, right behind salaries. Let's talk about visibility now. It's important for patients or people to see your sign right off the road. If you're in a high traffic area, that means more visibility and more patients are going to call you because they see you and know that you're there. Next up's going to be cleanliness. It's another important factor to patients. They want to know how safe the area is and if it's clean. They're also going to look inside your practice. So make sure you don't have trash on the floor, old dirty magazines all over the place, and make sure your trash cans are emptied. Now let's discuss how to conduct market research. You're going to want to do a search in the area on age range and the average age. Look at income, occupations, and lifestyle, and gender descriptions. Other things you can look for are typical reasons of medical visits. See if people are accepting insurance or not accepting insurance, and look at their price point. Now, one way to go about this is to use a healthcare realtor or a consultant. But if you're trying to do it yourself, to see what competitors are around you, you can use Google and type in primary care physicians in X city and see what comes up. You can also use health grades. To access general population info, you can go to usa.gov for census data or check out the American Medical Association's database. Now let's talk about practical tips for selecting your location. Once you find an area you like, drive around and check it out. LoopNet can help you find places to lease or land to buy. But again, I strongly recommend using a healthcare realtor. Not only do they know about the area, they may know about property that's not even listed yet. They're also really great at talking to the landlords and knowing key questions that they should ask. Did you even know that you can negotiate your leasing agreement? Realtors can help you do this. A properly negotiated leasing agreement can save you tens of thousands of dollars. So what can you negotiate? Might be something you're asking. Guess what? Everything's negotiable, from lease rate to annual escalations to a build-out period to improvement allowances and free rent, parking, signage, and even exclusivity, just to name a few. Now, if you're feeling overwhelmed with all this, a healthcare consultant's a really great place to start. They can help you do market research, they can help you find a healthcare realtor, and they can help you negotiate your leasing agreement and so much more. I hope these tips help you find the perfect location for your medical practice or med spa. Now remember, choosing the right spot is just the beginning. To learn more about how to attract patients to your new practice, check out this video. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. And if you want to have a one-on-one call with me, click the link in the description. See you in the next video.